Hey, little chonks, welcome back to my soon-to-be regular art stream. I don't know why I do this when I talk. I just can't stop doing this. We're gonna do some art stuff as per my schedule. I know my microphone's a little close to me right now. Everything's crazy. There's cords everywhere. I'm trapped in this little box that you'll see later. But yeah, I want to do some art streams. More specifically, I got a lot to do. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I got a lot of watercolor that I want to do. I have several projects that I want to do, and so I'm gonna do those projects and stream at the same time because I can't do them separately. So this will be like my just chatting. I mean, I don't know. I'm putting it under art right now, but I may put it under just chatting in the future. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Any hoozles, thanks for showing up. I got my thing. I know this is my third time. I know. Third time's possibly the charm. Maybe. We don't know. But I have things set up. It's not going to be on my desk. We're done with that. We're going easel, which is right here. This, you don't have no idea how tiny this little box that I'm in truly is. Like, this is... I have anxiety when I get up and down about hitting things and knocking things over. But any hoozles, I'm gonna switch over. I have my thing. I actually, because I only have one camera, so I'm gonna do the little fixed screen. You'll still hear me blathering on and the chaos, but I figured let's just get into the drawing, or not the drawing, but we'll just get into it. Let's just get into it. No one want the minutia. So here's a little title thing for you. Here's a little title thing. You might hear, or you not might, you're definitely going to hear some ruffling of the microphone, because I definitely need to move it to a better position. Now it is going to be closer to my computer, but it will be facing me, so I'm hoping that it won't pick up too much sound. That's what I'm hoping. What I'm hoping for, but you never know. You never know. Just transferring the camera. Now I have this big stick thing coming out of my desk, or behind me, and my shelf really, and it's zip tied. This is real janky stuff going on here. This is real janky stuff. Ugh. But let me get the camera going, and then we'll all right, here we go. Here, you can see it in all its shaky glory. There we go. Don't worry, I'm gonna fix it. I'm just fixing the mic right now. I was gonna fix it all at once and then switch, but here we go. Touching. I'm handling the microphone right now. Handling the microphone. Yep. We're gonna turn that around, and we're gonna do. Oop! Ow! That hurts. Oh my god. This is gonna work. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not worried. You shouldn't be worried. Alright. Let's get this going. Alright, let me fix my light as well. Double. I'm probably gonna have to dick around with the settings for a second. Hold on. Because it's probably... There's a dog. That's what we're gonna be color painting. That's what we're gonna be doing, watercolor wise. Be doing a dog, and I'll explain why in a second after I dick around with the see. This is why I need to get another camera, but this is not in the works right now. That's just not in the works. Let's see what we got here. Focus. Oh. I think it was pretty good actually. It was. Oh, here, let me put my hand there. My hand. Focus on my hand. I don't like to use the autofocus function, just because I think it, like, one, it takes too much, it takes far too much, I don't like it taking that processing power away, but also it just always seems like it just can't focus. You know what I mean? Like, it's always running. Okay. Oh my god. I did not think about my microphone's cord. Okay, let me dick around with this. I may have to put you lower. I think you can still hear me fine. Test. Yeah, okay. This is gonna be the hardest painting I am having to reach over my microphone. And here, you know what? I think I can... Here, if you don't mind me manhandling you for a second. Let me show you... Let me show you what's going down right here. Let me just show you. You're gonna get shaky, but don't worry. If you have problems looking at the screen, then that's on you. Let's just get this. Okay. So, this is my desk. With all the junk all over it. And then this is my little corner that this is where my computer is. That's my background. Dude, look at that thing. Look at that thing. So this is my little corner. This is my little corner that I am in. Just so you can appreciate it. Appreciate it. I literally can't get out of here if I wanted to. There's a fire. It's all bad news for me. All bad news bears. Ugh. Maybe we don't want that. Put that. There we go. That's better. Just turn my light away. Okay, now I gotta do something about this camera cord. There we go. Okay. Cords are handled. You gotta get the lurk in there. Also, I'm gonna do that thing, that bad thing that I did. Not bad. It's just... Oops, sorry. I may bump the mic a couple times because it's literally right in front of me. I'm not doing a bad thing. It's just questionable. I just want to play around with Twitch's rules a bit. So remember when I did the, I feel like there should be motion. So I'm going to talk with my hands. Remember when I did the little Pokeball paintings? You know, I have them, but I want to rip them off my... You remember these? Remember these little things? This one's not painted, but remember when I was painting those and I watched the Pokemon through the Poke Slit? Yeah, I'm gonna do that again, but not with Pokemon. Not with Pokemon. Yeah, we got Robo Slit this time. So basically, if you don't know, I like to watch something while I do this, and so obviously I can't show you what I'm watching completely. So you get a little slit. You just get a little slit. You don't get to hear any sound. You don't get to hear any sound. But you do get to hear nothing. You get to hear my theme song going over and over again. But you don't get to hear anything, but you get a little slight. And so the movie that I'm gonna watch and I'll talk about is Robots. I think it came out in 2015. It is a fever dream of a movie, but that's what I'm gonna be listening to. Any hoozles. Pay no attention to that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to start it yet because I want to show you something. So, it's been a while. If you haven't read my title, it's been a while since I've watercolored, and I actually was digging up all my old watercolor stuff, and I found some of my beginning watercolors. This was like my style a long time ago, and I guess I haven't mentioned it on stream before, but before this, actually I'm gonna put this thing back on. I'm touching the mic, hold on. I have an art channel, if you don't know. I've had an art channel for like 8 years, and I do like teaching. I used to do like how to do, basic art stuff because I'm classically trained in almost everything. But the one thing I'm not trained in is watercolor, because I had a master for oil painting, and then I had several professors for acrylic painting. But watercolor, I did not have any training. I taught myself from a book. And basically what that means is I just looked at a book and copied what was in there. And the book that I got was I think it was on a going at a sale or going at a business Borders, if anyone remembers what Borders the bookstore was. And anyways, the woman that I copied, her style was very much like this. Very thick, very ethereal color. So that's why my thing was my original style was like that, and I guess it's still my style. Now, watercolor, I think I made a video about the different types of paints: acrylic, oil, and watercolor. Watercolor is I would say, the hardest to learn. It's not, if you're gonna start painting, it's not the one I would start with. I think a lot of people like watercolor because it's the same reason I like watercolors, because you just need very little stuff. You just need the watercolor, you can get these, which I'm going to be using, these little trays. You can see like mine is very used. And you can replace these. Like this is a replacement. I actually found this in a box. It's not supposed to be here because I have one right here, but this was empty. I have another tray that I'm going to be using, but it's really easy. You just need this, a tiny bit of water, like 1 or 2 brushes, and you're good to go. And some paper, obviously, watercolor paper. So that's why a lot of people gravitate to it, but it's not like painting. I know they say watercolor painting, but think of it more as staining. So the rules for like acrylic and oil are pretty interchangeable. There's just slight differences because you're dealing with different mediums. But watercolor is different. Like I said, you're staining the paper. You're not really painting. So like in normal painting, like acrylic or oil, you go from dark to light when you're painting color, meaning you put your darks down and then you add lighter pigment on top of it, and that's how you get your lights. You do the opposite with watercolor. You start with your lights and then you keep adding until you get darker, because again, like I said, you're staining the paper. You're not really painting. Of course, you can always cheat and just get like not cheat, but you can get like the tube watercolors, which I have. They're over there and I'm trapped now in my little bubble. But you can get the tubes and just put it on as thick paint, but that's not really the way you're supposed to use watercolor. You're supposed to actually dilute those pastes. That's why watercolor comes in like little tiny tubes about this big, because you're not supposed to use them like paint. You're supposed to put them in water and like let them stretch. So, but any hoozles, it's been 6 years, I think. I think it's been 6 years since I did that. I think the last time I did watercolor, which was for my channel, which is how I know it was 6 years ago, and it was this, and I actually found it. I use this as my example. This is not very good, but again, I was doing those videos in like under an hour. So, and I'm going to try to do this painting in like an hour and a half, which is what this robot movie is. It's kind of like my pseudo time clock. So, here's a picture of a dog. Now, I guess I can tell you this as if you're going to learn, but the best way, you never really want to draw directly onto this watercolor paper because it will stain, smudge, and stay. The only reason I'm leaving it actually even the pigment, like the drawing this light is, this dark, is because this dog is black and white, and I'm going to use like really thick color, or like a lot of really vibrant color, so these lines will come through my painting. But that's okay because this is going to be a darker painting, so I am okay with that. But if you're doing like a regular scene, you would want to get these as light as possible. And what you can do is you can either put this, have your drawing on and then have like an eraser, or if you have those like the kneaded erasers, which are these gray like putty like stuff, you can just dab, and those are the best because you can just dab up and it'll just start picking up layers and layers of the pencil lead. And you can get it a lot lighter, and that will help because, like I said, this will come through. No matter how much you cover this, it will inevitably bleed through to the surface of your painting. That's just how mediums work. And so, yeah, just keep that in mind. So the best way that I keep the amount of pencil marks off this paper, like you can kind of see there's no real pencil marks, is because I first draw it on a piece of transparent paper. So I do my drawing on here to get everything. You can see how like this is a lot more sketchier, and you can't really see with the camera, but there's like marks all over this that I've like semi-erased and redone. And so what I do is I'll draw it on this tracing paper, and then I'll flip it over, put it on the paper, and then and then I'll pencil it, and it will the lead will transfer from this side to the paper very lightly. The one thing about that is you'll always have the reverse of your image. But it doesn't really matter for me, and I've never really had a problem with that. But drawing first on tracing paper and then using the tracing paper to transfer it to your page will just help you start off with a real clean canvas. And then, like I said, normally, if this was going to be like a lighter painting, I would go with my kneaded eraser and just dab this to get this much lighter. But like I said, it's dark, so it's going to be a dark painting, so it doesn't really... I'll just put this here. Double for no reason. Actually, let's just move it over there. But any hoozles, that's your little lesson. I don't know how many times I'm going to have to say that since I'm planning on doing these watercolors a lot. But I showed you one of my trays. This is my other tray. These have not been used in a long time, as you can see. I'm missing a certain color. I'm not sure. I think I used to because you can just buy these individually. I think I used to take these out and put them in my other smaller tray. But I think I have all the colors I should be able to do whatever, but this is really just a test to see muscle memory and all that. And for this, you really don't need that many brushes. I have grabbed I just have a bunch of brushes, so I just grabbed a bunch, but I used to only use like 2 brushes, 2 smaller like round brushes. The ones with edges, I pulled this one because it's small. Doesn't really, I mean, you can use them, but I don't know. I've never really used straight edge brushes on watercolor, but just because it's, again, you're staining and it's a lot lighter. It's not like using thick paint. So, anywho, you just need some water, which I have, and a napkin. That will always serve you well. Let me just get my thing set up. But anywho, so my projects are, I have a bunch, and one of the things that I want to do is, I'll just cover up my little boy right here. If you don't know, if you don't follow me like on Instagram or Twitter, mostly Instagram, I got into making cocktails, and I made a whole bunch of recipes of myself. And one of the things I wanted to do is I want to make like an artistic representation of those. So I want to do, one of the things I want to do is I want to do watercolors of every single drink that I've made. And then I will like photograph it and then like, you know, write the recipe underneath and then put it, I want to put it like on a big poster, but I want all my drawings to be watercolors, or that just type of style. So that's one of the things I need to do, is to do all of my drinks in watercolor, which as I was drawing this one, I realized it was going to be a pain in the butt, and doing glass and clear things in liquid is like one of the hardest things to do. So I figured, let's just start with a dog face. Let's just do, which is also very hard, by the way. But hey, you know what? One of my masters, I think it was my oil painting master. She used to have us, before we did portraits of people, she used to have us do animal portraits, because she said, you will learn pretty much everything you need to do for a human portrait doing an animal portrait, but the animal won't get mad at you when you mess up. And so we did a lot of animal portraits. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to have some fun. There is a reason why I'm doing dogs, but I don't want to get into it. These, like, certain animals. I don't want to get into it right now. But, yeah, because I think I've talked enough. Let's start the movie that you can watch, the little robo-slit. You enjoy that robo-slit. Okay. Jeez, I don't even know how I want to go about doing this. Like I said, this is a black and white dog. And if I was smarter, I would have photos for you, but I don't want to bring it up. I just don't want to, I've dicked around. I spent like the last 2 to 3 hours setting this all up. And quite done with it. Oops. What did I do? Hold on, I'm bringing up my reference image. Reference image. Turning that down because it is very loud. Sorry, that keeps happening. There it is. There's my reference image. You won't see it, but I mean, you can kind of see here. You can kind of see through the little slit. See? The little black and white dog. That's what it's gonna be. So let's go ahead, and again, I'm not gonna do like try to make it exactly realistic, because that's just not my style. I'm not gonna make it black and white. I'm gonna make this dark, but I'm probably gonna do it more like dark blue or purple or red, and it's gonna be more colorful like this. So just keep that in mind. I used to start with the backgrounds. As you can see, I don't know if this is the right way, because again, I've never been actually traditionally taught watercolor, but I used to start with these crazy backgrounds, as you can see, that are just wild and all over the place, and then I used to go in, and I'm not sure if that's the best route, but you know what? I think we're done stalling time, and we'll just get into it. Let me show you what this looks like. Ooh, I don't have much ultramarine blue, which is unfortunate. So if you're using these, and I'll use the green because it's so big, even though I'm not going to use green right now. But you just take water and you just get it wet. And as you can see on my brush, like it's already there. Like, look, here, I'll just put this in the corner. So, well, that's how you use these. That's how I'm going to use these. They're going to be off camera, obviously, because I have to hold them in my hand and try not to get them on my microphone, but it's definitely going to get all over my microphone. I think I'm gonna start. Okay, remember the rules. You go light to dark. So I'm gonna start with the nose. I'm just gonna start. And again, like normally in painting, you would start with the foreground and then you build up. So you would go background, then like the parts that are farther back, and then like the furthest closest to would be the nose and the mouth. So you would do those last and the eyes last. That doesn't really happen in watercolor because it doesn't matter, because you're not layering. Because I'm not gonna like paint this whole thing a certain color like I normally would and then paint on top of it. You're kind of painting, kind of like paint by numbers. You're kind of painting inside each shape. So keep that in mind. Like I said, don't use any of these tactics or tips that I'm using on oil painting or acrylic, because they do not transfer over. Let's see if this paint is really old. Let's see if we can get some life out of it. Oh yeah, look at that. It gets the life out of it. Okay. Let's start. Oh gosh, it's so hard. I might have to move my mic down lower. Let's see. I'm gonna make noise to see how high. La 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 la. How low can we go? How low can we go? I think if I rotate it, it should be. Sorry. We got it. Scruff stream. It's fine. Everything's fine. There we go. Okay. Now it's out of my way. Alright. Ooh, it's flaking. It's not great. Okay. Let's start with the blue. Ah, there's like a little hair on it. That's one thing about these cheap brushes. Sometimes you can't see it on here, but there's like little hairs sticking up. And I have a pocket knife here, so I'm just gonna cut it, because it is moving the pigment in a direction I don't want. So I'm just gonna cut like the little tip off. But I'm gonna bring it close to my face so I can see it. Alright, there we go. And keep those handy just in case I gotta do that again. But yeah, for this, we want to go light to dark. So this is gonna be. This is more of a darker. Obviously, the nose is gonna be much darker. I think like I said, I'm gonna go wild with the colors. So I'm gonna start with the blue, and then I think I'm gonna like come over it with a dark red. Although, oh no, I have some red. Okay. This movie. I don't know if this is a good idea to have the movie playing in my ear. It's such a fever dream. If you don't know, look up Robots 2015. It is such a fever dream of a movie. It's got Robin Williams in it. It has Amanda Vines in it it has Ewan McGregor. It's a wild ride. Let me just say that. This is where you have to be careful, because you're going to lose your drawing. And as you'll see, like, as it's drying, it lightens. It's just the nature of watercolor. 'Tis the nature. And again, I go at it very dark. Like I said, intense color, not like the light. Sorry, I put my brush in my mouth. Not like the light colored like you're supposed to. Maybe I will. Maybe it's been 6 years. Maybe I can, change my ways. Change these habits. Should definitely be looking at my reference. Definitely should be doing that. One of the things you can do with watercolors, you can put water down and then use a little bit more water, but remember, you can't, so I can take a bit of the pigment away. You can't do this too much, because you're on paper, and so the more water you put on it, the more the paper's actually gonna, even though it's made for this, it's gonna dissolve. And so if you keep putting water on it, it'll eventually basically break down the paper and you'll rip a hole through your paper. Even though this seems pretty thick, I wouldn't put any more water in this area for quite a bit until it dries. But I'm gonna try mixing in this red, which is not in this palette, so let me change this is gonna be, I'm gonna have to work on this so I don't have to keep changing palettes. But I need red. I need to order these more little things. Okay. Again, I'm going for more wild colors. This is like, what I'm doing right now is I'm going, again, not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going dark to light, but it's hard to beat those habits that are built into you. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay. And I would say watercolor is not very forgiving. Not forgiving like acrylic. Acrylic is way more forgiving than watercolor. I'd say watercolor is the least forgiving. So one of the nice things though with watercolor is you can get a lot of like interesting shapes by just putting a lot of pigment and then color and water and letting it just kind of go where it wants to go. This is the first time I think I've ever done watercolor like on an easel and not just flat on the ground. So everything's gonna drip down versus just spreading, which will be interesting for me. But we'll see how that works. And of course, you can always, I probably will do like a bit of mixed media where like once it dries, like you can come back with like pen, or you can come back with acrylic whites. Like that's what a lot of people do. They really come back with more white to get it more to pop, because it's really hard to get a bright white in watercolor. But I mean, even despite there being white in these trays, like I don't think I've ever used them. It just doesn't really have that much of a use unless you're trying to make your colors more pastel than they already are. So this one's going to be interesting because it's... So the white part is going to be interesting. Should I leave it white? I guess. Yes, but let's... Also, you kind of have to come back because, again, if you make this too wet, you start to rip the pigment, the pigment off. But yeah, sometimes you just have to wait for it to dry. Got his nose going. It looks weird on the camera. It looks better. You can't even really see the red throughout. I don't know how. Is it this? What if I turn these off? Oh yeah, you can't. Oh yeah, you can see a lot better with that. My gamer lights. Gamer lights? No gamer lights. Don't look as pretty without gamer, like everything, but the colors look a lot better. So let's just keep going. We'll go with this. For me, it actually is darker. That's funny. For you, it looks lighter. Like everything looks better, but for me, in person, everything looks a lot worse. Like it's harder for me to see, but that's okay. It's not about me. You don't care. You don't care. I don't care about you. What do you mean? So light to dark. Okay. So let's go. Let's. Ooh. Ooh, I kind of want to use this blue, but I don't know if that's a good idea. We're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. That guy on TikTok, gosh. Okay. So, let's put this nice blue in here, and then we're gonna come back with the ultramarine. This is the border between white, which I really wish I had erased these lines, because these lines are gonna not go away. Which is fine. I could always come back with pen and like accentuate the lines like it was meant to be all the time. Like I meant to do it like this, obviously. I could do that. So, always an option. Always an option. Oop, that was thick. This is very hard painting like this. Again, I guess it's good to learn. I'm always so used to painting or doing anything, like having my face as close as I can to the piece of paper or whatever I'm working on, which is bad. Bad for your eyes, bad for your back. So having to like have my arm, like you can't see this, but my arm is like way stretched out, and I'm just like do like a professional, like you're supposed to be. So learning. Okay. Let's just put this. I think I like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with this dark color. I mean, this light color, and then I'll come back with the dark. Kind of like I'm probably gonna use cobalt, and we'll see. This looks very, again, this looks way more blue on what you're seeing versus what I'm seeing. So we'll see how it goes. I may do a blue painting, not whole complete. Like I might make the background like one of my favorite combination is like blue and like this type of yellow. It's just a nice combination of colors. One of the ones Van Gogh liked to use a lot. Because blue and orange, they're analogous, so I mean opposite analogous, so blue and orange obviously go together, but if you get like a golden yellow, it also looks very good with a more like off blue, like I'm doing here. Let's paint this. That doesn't matter. Barely listening, paying attention to this movie. Such a fever dream. Maybe I won't do this. Kind of playing around with Twitch's rules anyway. But the rules are very arbitrary anyways, so you know. They only apply to people who are small like me. They don't apply to people who fit a certain demographic or make a certain amount of money. Don't they? Alright. Ah, something's in my eye right now. I think it's an eyelash rebelling against my face. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? So I'm kind of filling this in like everywhere, mostly because this is going to be my light, or these are going to be my highlights, I should say. Because I'm going to come in and really come in with a darker, more intense color. So, like these little spots right here are like gonna be dark, are dark patches. Oops, that's way too much water. Oh no, it's dripping. Oh no, oh no. And I'm also going to probably change up this dog. This dog has like brown eyes, which I guess is fine. I may make him gold, kind of match. I mean, I'll throw some brown in it, but again, I don't remember if I should be waiting for this to dry and then going at it, or if I should be just going in with my dark color already. I don't know. It has been 6 years. so being a little out of practice is understandable. This is gonna be because the dog is white, and then it kind of like peters out to grayish, kind of into the black. Let's go ahead and let's just do some testing. Let's go ahead and throw. I don't know if I should go. I guess because he is black, so I was like, I don't know if I want to go as dark as I did on the nose, but he is a black dog, so his color does match. So let's just go hard. Go burnt, or not burnt umber, I'm sorry. Ultramarine blue. Let's go. Is there another stray hair on this? You animal. Yeah, these brushes, like, they don't really, again, when you use synthetic brushes, usually like with acrylic, it's thick enough to keep all the bristles down, but with watercolor, it's not thick at all. The bristles, like little, like a single strand will pop up, and then you'll see it drag and mess with your overall painting. Okay. I'm just building up. You really have to, like, again, I chose a really hard, like, if you're going to start off with watercolor, again, I wouldn't recommend starting off with watercolor. You would probably start off with, like, a landscape, because it's just going to be easier. This is very difficult, as in you have to, like, look for shapes and shadows, and you're basically just painting shapes and shadows. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue doing this, obviously, but the whole like slit thing, because it works better. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think it just. I don't. Oops, sorry. I just don't think it's gonna pan out. In the long run, with what I want to do. Like I said, I guess I could just turn these streams into just chatting, you know? Just chatting. We could chat about we can chat about whatever you want. Whatever, we can do current events. Fun current events. Like, I'm sure you heard today that, someone rushed on stage and tackled Chappelle, or tried to tackle, I should say. They missed really badly, and then they didn't realize that he had an entire entourage of men who took their time, and like I mean, there was all sorts of like memes and jokes online already about him. Hey, speaking of memes, there's that meme, upgrades, people. If you didn't know, that's where this comes from. That's where this comes from. The upgrades meme. But yeah, he got jumped, or not jumped, the guy who went on stage. And I don't think anyone said why. I saw like a couple people talking about it, but I don't think anybody said, like, nobody knows why he did it. Like, because it wasn't like anything political. It wasn't like he didn't like have anything on his media or whatever that would, you know, some people say, I guess he's like a not so very good rapper, so people like maybe he was just doing it for like clout and didn't realize how like stupid that was. Which I could see that. But yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Like, I don't know if you got emboldened by like Will Smith doing the slap, the Oscars, but the only reason nothing happened to Will Smith is because he was at the Oscars. Anywhere else, that would have played out much differently for him. So it would have played out much like it did for this young man who's like broke his arm and like hand and all sorts of stuff. But so one of the things you can do with watercolor is like this, where you just like, the only problem is doing it on an easel, everything's gonna drip down. Like I was talking about, you kind of just like let the pigment just kind of like go where it wants. You can kind of corral it a little bit, but again, remember you're staining this, so you kind of have to figure out how that's gonna work. Now I'm debating on adding red into the face. Would like to, but I think I'm gonna keep going with the blue first, and then we'll see how it goes. I think I need to, sometimes your brush can get oversaturated, so like, see how it's just kind of getting runny no matter what I do. I think I'm going to dry my brush. I'm gonna like try to get the pigment out. I'm gonna try and dry it. God, I didn't realize holding the tray up in one hand, I didn't realize how much that hurt. Yeah, I'll keep working on the system. I mean, it's fine. It's working better than any of the you know, the other 3 attempts that I did, so we do have that. It is working in a sense. Okay, I dried off my brush a bit. Let's go back in it. And if I'm going to do this, I'm going to definitely need to get more. I mean, look at this. Look at the state of these. Look at like my scarlet red. It's just like little chipped pieces. It's not even really a thing. But yeah. I mean, I think it's coming out okay. There's a little bit of like a thing right here I don't like. That's okay. And this ear is kind of like, I mean, it's basically all dark, so I'm just gonna do this just to start getting color. I'll come back. Come back for that. Interesting what I'm gonna do with it. Because right now it's pretty monochromatic, like this color. Like, there's not a lot of color variance, but it is a black and white dog, so there's that you gotta consider. There's like a, trying to get rid of this little patch right here, this little patch of wetness. It's just bothering me. Oops. So while it's wet, you can see how like you can kind of like just push the pigment around a bit. It will inevitably settle. can also, oh gosh, you can also take like a napkin, and if it's still wet, you can do that and get highlights back. All right. Okay. I need to make. I think I am gonna put red into this, into here, just to make it dark. Oh, gosh, the thing just keeps falling. Okay. Put some red in here. This might be too wet to do this, but really right here I need to get more pigment. Okay. I'm gonna add red. I'm gonna add it to multiple places, just to kind of balance it out. I also kind of like, again, this is my own personal style, but they like subtle line work, like just adding that like red in there. It's really hard to see. You can kind of see the little red added there because it's spreading, but the red here you can't really see, but you can see from my perspective these lines. Okay. I really wish I didn't have to pick up and put down each palette. Good. There you go. Come along. Again, you just kind of have to build. Like I said, you can wait for it to dry and put a little bit more pigment. I mean, you can go thicker, or you can get the little tubes and just, I mean, with the tubes, you can really just kind of, you're not supposed to, but you can paint it the way you want. Like, you can paint it like acrylic, but you really shouldn't do that because you're just wasting paint. But, again, I can't get away from, my style of just thick, a lot of like bold colors and lines. Lines and shapes, and like I said, the watercolor does make these weird, interesting, does these interesting shapes just naturally with the water as it bleeds and moves about. This movie is, like I said, a fever dream. I'm surprised like only the upgrades beam has been pulled from this movie. I think it's because most people haven't watched this movie because it is full of so many references and things. You could really go ham with this if you wanted to. So this ear in the picture, which I know you can't see, but this is just mostly dark. This is really hard. Sorry, I know I've got silent right now, but I cannot explain to you how hard it is to reach this because the camera is right here, obviously, and it's just like in my eye. One of my eyes is behind the camera, and this elbow is bumping my microphone stand. And I try to do this very delicately. It's like a challenge. It's like a game. How hard can we make this for ourselves? Looking alright. Very blue. I think I need to add red to the other side. Ooh, should I wait? One of the things I do often, I haven't been doing here because, again, I'm trapped behind my camera and my microphone. But you can blow on this. Like, you can blow on it to make it dry quicker. You can also blow on it to, like, spread the pigment out. I used to do that a lot, but obviously I don't think I can do it. Okay. There we go. Okay, I need to go on. How much time have I wasted? Oh, an hour? Dang, I only have 30 minutes. That's the one thing. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to finish, obviously, a painting within the amount of time. Because on the, I think I know I've mentioned this before. My streams during the week have to be they can't be over 2 hours. Because I work in the morning and stuff, and so like I just can't swing like a 4-hour one like I do on Fridays. I am thinking about doing another day on the weekends. I'm thinking about doing ones. Look, see it's pooling right here. It's because it's all, which is not very desirable. I know a lot of people who do watercolors like this, but I think better to do watercolors flat so that the pigment doesn't just go straight down and like is able to spread out. So if you're gonna do watercolor, I'd recommend not doing it on easel, even though it's like that's the cool art thing to do. I would recommend not doing cool art thing always, and doing the thing that is easier. Alright, I think maybe adding a bit of red into, because I have been, but you can see like it looks more red to me here But like as you can see, this has like gotten a lot lighter. Like, all of these a lot lighter. But I think after I'm done with this one, I'm going to come back in with like other medium to jazz it up a bit. Probably a little bit of acrylic, probably in as well, just to really liven it up. I mean, I'll keep doing this. Like, obviously, I'm gonna get as far as I can tonight with this. I probably won't touch it until next week, so you can see the process all the way through. And like I said, mostly because I need to do this stuff, and so it's gonna be a part of my stream. It's just how it is. You know, I should invert. I keep looking at the wrong. It's like this is the inverted picture of the picture I'm looking at, so I keep looking at the wrong sides when I'm looking for the shadows to paint, and I'm like, oh shoot, that was on the other side. I need to not do that. I should just invert the image that I'm looking at. Tips for the future. We will figure it out. We'll figure it out eventually. They saw like, see how it goes down? It looks kind of creepy now that I've circled the eyes, so the eyes are just white. But I kind of want to do the eyes last. Probably, because that's going to be the hardest part to get right. So, yeah, I kind of want to, I've already kind of screwed up this eye right here. Made it like squinty. So, I can fix it, don't worry. We can fix it if we... I accidentally got a little bit of blue in there. Okay. Okay, there we go. Fixed a little bit. I don't know why it's giving me clown vibes for some reason. I think it's because the colors, the stark contrast. Let's go ahead and add some of that scarlet red. It's just so powerful. Kind of like, you know what? Keep muddling it, but I'm a fan of like the line work, like a little bit of line work in there. Like, it looks nice. I'm a fan of that. I'm not so sure how that's going to translate all the way through, but this is all about testing, so. Again, yeah, I keep looking at the wrong side. Oh, wait. Yes, I am looking at the wrong side. Okay. Dude, maybe... Maybe I can get like the rough of like most of the color color going in, maybe. Okay, this. I like this red and blue. It'll be nice when I start adding the gold and stuff. I can start, like, once it's dry, I can start, like, incorporating the gold into it. I think I am gonna go back and, like, start getting these lines going again. Go stylized. Let's go stylized. Big fan of stylized. Okay. So this is all white. So I have to remember not to get too deep into that, but ooh, this is very wet. That's why this is all painted, because when my brush is too wet, I just rub it on everything around. I think, oh yeah, this does go. Okay. It's quite horrifying. It's the white eyes. The fact that there's no color in the eyes is what makes it look very creepy, but I'm gonna keep going. Again, I'll keep going, obviously, till the movie ends, which I'm not paying attention to, or talking about, so really making, again, how irrelevant this is over here, but unfortunate. I do like the slit. Okay. So I'm going to have to put some blue into... Actually, hold on. Let me put more of... I have to put some blue into the white. I think I'm going to use the light blue and go as light as I possibly... Although, he does have a lot of darkness here. Like, there's black in here, and it's just... Maybe I'll start with the light blue. Cerulean blue, I should say. That's the color I was looking for. Cerulean. Okay, sorry, thought my caption. It's not. Okay. Has that. Now let's see if I can. Just a little bit of color. Again, so you can see how like it outlines what's supposed to be there. Sorry, listen to this ridiculous dialogue. If you haven't seen this movie, Robots, 2015, I highly recommend you watch it. It is a bizarre thing. Something that would definitely never be made now. It is quite the thing. Okay. Sorry, I noticed I accidentally hit something here, so I'm trying to take away the... So you can take away some things to a point, but I wouldn't count on doing that. That's not always the case. Like I said, the more water you add, the more... Like, I know I'm not going to paint there, because that's supposed to be white, so, like, I'm not going to add more water or liquid to it, so it's going to be fine. But, like, if I was going to add water or liquid to it, I wouldn't have done that, because it's just going to rip through the paper eventually. Okay, so this is also dark. Sorry, I'm, like, having to flip the image in my head. So that's also dark. Okay. Let's try to... Floretta gear grinder. Okay. And this is... Okay. Blend that out. You can't tell, but paper is starting to get like thin in areas where I put a lot of stuff already, like getting real thin here. You can't tell, but like I can tell just by like the paper is beginning to bow in like certain ways. Like it's sinking in here and lifting here, so that's because the water is coming down here and settling in this area. So keep in mind, keep that in mind as well. Yeah, keep that in mind when you're... Sorry, I was trying to figure out the thing in my head. Okay. This is dark. There you go. It's coming along. Obviously, like I said, it's gonna take a lot. I'm not obviously gonna be able to finish this tonight. But I'm gonna be on for another like 30 minutes. But yeah, you can see my process as I go through. It looks very different on screen than it does in real life. So at the end, when I'm done, I'll take a picture of it and post it on my like Instagram or Twitter or something. You can kind of see what it looks like. Or I could always put, well, no, because I won't finish. I was gonna say I could put it in the thumbnail for my next video, but I'm obviously not gonna finish this tonight. And like I said, I'm not gonna work on it on my own. This is what I'm doing for my stream. That's what's happening. We're just chatting. That's what this is. It's just chatting while I work my way and try to figure out how to paint this dog. Okay, so This is gonna be hard because this is so dark. Like this is that like their gums. It's like shiny and dark all at the same time. So I could go really dark here. Starting with the blue. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just looking back. This is actually darker than this. Crazy. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to distinguish, but that's why I added like distinguish between the darks and the darks. But again, it's very hard doing a black animal, especially in watercolor, because there's no, unless you're just gonna go like shadows. Like you've probably seen like those thick paintings where it's just like big blocky outlines of shape. I could do, but I didn't. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use red to do lines. Oops. Oh, shoot. I touched it. No! Shoot, that's another thing I do. I always touch. I should have started on that side. There we go, we're getting some definition. You can go a little thicker on the paint, as you can see. I am going to come back with the red. Really go ham in there. Because there's like several layers into this, like the dog's thumbs, I guess is the way to say it. Yeah, because there's like, this is gums, this is all gums. This is like another layer of gums. This is another layer of gums. And this is like, obviously in between the teeth, that's more layers of gums. Why dogs got so many gums? What they doing? What the dog doing, huh? What's going on? Nice thing is I've only had to use, obviously, this tray and just like one napkin that's been sitting on my lap and it hasn't even like drained all the way through. So again, that's why people like watercolor, because you just need one brush. I've only been using this brush, by the way. One brush and mostly this palette. So I think that's why people really want to gravitate to watercolor, because you just need few things. But it's not easy. Like I said, watercolor is probably the harder of the three. I would say definitely the easiest is acrylic painting to learn. And then a lot of principles apply to oil, but there's a lot more you have to consider with oil. And then watercolor is the hardest because it's staining. It's just like I'm kind of like struggling here a bit to figure out what's going on here. Again, it's a little bit hard spreading the pigment when everything goes down. So I would recommend doing watercolor paintings on a flat surface. Okay. But I do have some distinction. You can kind of see the distinction between these two gums. Definitely gonna have to work on that more. I think the mouth and the eyes are gonna be the thing that's gonna be like the harder thing. But One of the things I'm going to do with probably acrylic painting is this dog has like a lot of the like white whiskers, like not super long, like that was too long, but like a bunch of these white little whiskers that kind of overlap. And I'm just going to use acrylic paint to do that, just because you can't really get that look with watercolor. Unless I mean, you could use the tube and just, but then again, you're just wasting paint because that's not the way it's supposed to be. And watercolor paint is quite expensive. Obviously, there's the cheap, you can get cheap stuff, but I have a video out there that explains the difference between expensive and cheap on my art channel. But basically, the cheaper the painting is, the less likely it is to blend with other colors, the less likely it is to retain its color, and yeah, so be wary of that. Look at all that, it's like pooling. It's pooling. Also, I'm kind of concerned, like, how pink am I going to go? Again, this is a very blue painting right now. But it's not like I intend it to be a blue painting in the end. Like, I'm probably going to go real gold with the background. With this little green piece right there. And, yeah. Thought about adding a brown to the colors. Because if you want to get a black, and if you don't want, you shouldn't, unless you're trying to make like a statement, you shouldn't use just straight black pigment, like straight black, because it's, one, it's not natural, and two, it's very overpowering. And so a better way to get black is to mix this blue, the darker blue, the ultramarine blue, with a burnt umber, which I have some right here. So this is a burnt umber. I know it looks green, it's brown. A burnt umber mixed with this blue, ultramarine blue, will make a very nice black color. That's more warm and has more tones to it, and it won't be as stark and contrasty and like abrasive, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, just a tip. So I was planning on doing that, but I kind of like changing the black to like a blue and playing around with the colors and such. But yeah, because this is all white. So this is all white, this is white, this is black. The color, I'm just going to color whatever. Maybe I'll make that gold as well. So I'll be like gold, gold, gold in his eyes. So it'll all kind of like balance on. I may put gold accents in like the shines, like of his nose, maybe around the teeth. Maybe even in the gums to get like the shine back. But I guess with the tongue, I'm stalling because of the tongue right now. I'm trying to figure out what I should do, because if I go pink, like it's supposed to actually dogs' tongues are kind of like purpley, so I could go purple. That makes sense. I don't have a purple, I don't think. That's not a color that comes with. I don't know what this is. Is this actually give me a black? I think this is a black. These little things are, there it goes, it comes out. So these little things, what is this? Oh, Viridian. Oh no, it's a green, Jesus. So these little things come out of the tray. So that's how you replace them. And each one, they're a little expensive. This is Winsor & Newton, so it's a little bit expensive, but it's better quality. I'm trying to get, you can't, I don't think I'll get where you can see the typing, but it says everything you need to know. It says Viridian, it says in Spanish, it tells you the number, color, and all this sorts of information. Each one has this, so you know exactly, because like the colors in the, well, when they're in the trays and when they're dry, they don't look like the colors that are going to be when you dilute it, obviously, because it's concentrated. So that's a little tip. I don't know the prices. I haven't bought new things, but I guess I'll learn this weekend because I'm going to buy more of these this weekend. So I guess I'll learn more later on. But I think, let me finish the mouth. I guess this is also, but it's a lighter. This is also, oops, a dark, kind of. This is his chin. Okay, let me make this. But we got a little bit of jaw. I think I need to make the gum a little bit more. Oops. Slip of the hand, that's okay. There we go. Get a little more definition into the mouth, the gums. Like, it's hard to do. Because, like, in the picture, it's reflecting, like, the grass. Like, this is all reflection. Like, it's a reflection. I'm sorry, no. This side is all reflection. And it's reflecting green because the picture's off grass. And the light is bouncing off the grass and touching this. So it's actually green. So it doesn't make sense to do that. And the highlight, I'm just having trouble how I'm going to do that highlight. Because it's really opaque without it looking weird. Because I could make it lighter. Like, I could make it look like this. But, like, this doesn't look like a shine. I think I'm going to keep the way it is and just keep playing with it. I think once I have maybe this filled in, it'll start to look a little bit more normal. I want to finish out the body just to get some color so we can get a little bit more of like what's going on. Yeah. Also, I'm still stalling because of the mouth. You could use a bigger brush so you don't get these lines. I'm just lazy. And also, like, the lines kind of work with the, like, fur texture that I'm going for here. This is dark. Okay, so this is really dark here. I should use a bigger brush for this. Because... okay. I'm definitely going to add red down there as well. Just to, like, keep it going. A little bit more fur. A little more fur-like. Okay, let's use a bigger brush. This might be too big, but I'm gonna go for it. Go. Big brush. I think this is like one of my first acrylic brushes that I ever bought. Like a semi-nice one. Never use it. Haven't used it since my days at university. And this, I'm just copying shadows that I see painting. I mean, in the picture. If you're wondering why I'm doing these lines or doing this the way that it is, I'm literally just copying shadows that I see. That I see in the photo. This is how you should do things. Paint what you see. Paint or draw what you see, not what you think you know. Good tip from one of my masters. Alright. Okay. Should I add... I think I should add a little bit of, like, kind of like what I did here. Not as intense, obviously, but with the blue a little bit on the edges, so it's just not like a stark white line, I think. Even though it is pretty in the picture, it's like black on white, like it's very stark. But more, oops, I hit my microphone. More so than in the face. The face, like, got my hand. Ugh, gotta crack it. Just like gripping this like this, like a claw is hurting me. Like here, there's a lot of variance as far as like gradation of from going from black to white. But here, there really isn't any in the photo. But I think I'm gonna add it because it just looks too stark. Maybe I won't. Okay, I'll stop. Maybe I'll go with. I'll start on the mouth and I'll just see how I feel about that as I go. As I go about what I want to do. So I guess I'm gonna go with a dark. Yeah, I'm gonna start with the red, but I'm gonna try and thin it out as much as I can. But I want to make it more purpley, but I don't want to get it as dark as this. Obviously. Oh, actually, I do have a purple. I'm an idiot. There's a purple right next to it. What is that? I think it's a purple. Yep, it's purple. Can't you see it with like the paint all over it? No, it says purple something. Purple something. I don't know, but it is a purple. Let's see what it looks like. See what it looks. See, it's kind of hard to tell what color that are because I did not think that was a purple, but it is. Makes sense. It's next to the scarlet red, so makes sense. Bring it back to life. Ooh, I think this might not be well, but I might add this purple to the rest of the painting. I wish I knew I had this at the beginning. So this is going to be dark here, which is going to be hard because it's going to, again, it's going to migrate down. So the darkness is actually going to be on the bottom, not on the top. But the darkness needs to be up here. Again, so you can see it. Look at it pool. Look at it pool to the lowest part, which it needs to do the opposite. It needs to pool up here. So like you could like, nope, you can't do that. Okay. Like I said, if you're going to paint, it's better to paint on a flat surface than to do it angled. Because you can control the spread a little bit more. So let's... I'm just gonna try and get this to dry a little bit, and then come in with the dark, maybe with the red. Hopefully it won't pool. Hopefully. What I can do is like I can also go in and start painting like in between the gum, because that's also dark, almost black, pure. Next part of the photo. So Oh. Sorry. Very focused. There you go. Alright. There you go. Sorry, I got real quiet there. I was just focusing on trying to not script the teeth, but it's kind of looking like gums. It still has obviously some work to go, but yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Surely. I hardly know. That's right, there's a Britney Spears song in this. Forgot about that. Told you, this is a fever dream of a movie. Still playing in the background. I don't know. I kind of like the movie thing because it is like a good timer, but not really talking about it, but it is there in the background. Yeah, I'm not sure how like audience can engage with this, you know. Not sure how the audience can engage in this, but we shall see. We'll see. God, with the eyes not painted, it looks horrifying. I'm looking on my like screen over here. My screen that's over here, that it just looks it's quite a show. Sorry I keep bumping the mic, it's just right there. But it's working. I think it's working. We're doing a thing. It's working, kind of, sort of, maybe. Oh, it doesn't hurt my neck as much as I thought. I think it's because I have to keep my back straight and like proper paint, like ho 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 ho. I keep hitting the mic. I'm sorry. Alright. I think the purple's dried a little bit, so let's go with a purple and another purple. Let's try to like double up on the color before I go into red. Oh, here's the Britney Spears song. Baby, one more time. Okay. I think I can work with this. I just have to spread the color out a little bit. To play with the color a little bit. I can touch up some of the other aspects of it. And it does this like thing because like this whole part is like in the sun, so it's like a little bit lighter. Interesting. It's starting to look like time. It's a little light. I can't go right into it because it's wet still, as you can see. But like this needs to be a little bit more net color. I'm probably gonna add blue to this. Probably not red. Maybe red. Maybe I'll add red. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So now we're in the part where... Do I tackle the eyes? Ooh, the eyes. It'd be so hard. No, I'll save the eyes for later. Even though I know it looks horrifying without its eyes. I know it looks terrifying right now. But, yeah, I'll leave the eyes for another day. Because I'm not... Or next time. Good news is, I think I'll be able to finish this within 2. So, like, if I could stream for, like, you know, 3 to 4 hours, I could do this. But 2 or an hour and 45, which is probably what I'm going to do here. Because I'm going to get off soon. Yeah, because I need to get some stuff done before I go to bed and go to work tomorrow. So yeah, we'll go ahead and I'm not gonna end it yet. I'm gonna see if I can get a little bit more on the tongue. Hopefully it'll dry. I'm not gonna do the blue here because that's not how it is in the thing. But could start on the background. Maybe. Kind of want to wait till. Well, I guess it's dry. Yeah. Let's see. Do I have a thicker brush? I do. I don't want the big thick because that's too much. Maybe not. Let's see. So, ooh, it's gonna be hard to get into this corner. I guess I could try. Oops, shit. Very hard to paint like this. Yeah, we can start doing it like that. Oh, much easier to do this side. All right, and a little yellow. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna add more of a richer, like some of these richer yellows. Not this one, but I was using. Forget its name. It's been a while since I've had to call colors by their actual name. So, but yeah, I think the gold be good. I'll make it richer, like I said, with more later on, but. That green dot's not gonna go away. This is gonna be here forever. Actually, it's coming out with the water, but... Oh, there it goes. It's actually going away. Alright, there we go. We got it. Okay. Now I got a makings of a background starting. Obviously, I'm not gonna leave like this. I'll do a lot more different things, but I think maybe I'll do one more pass at the mouth. I'll do one more pass at the mouth, and then I think I'm done for today, for tonight, at least. I need to go to bed soon. Okay. So let's go ahead. Do one more pass at that mouth. That mouth. Where's the brush of it? Oh, here it is. Only used 2 brushes. Even though I have like 7 here. Just the way it is, huh? The way it goes sometimes. Okay. Do I go purple or do I add red to this? That's the question. Purple, more purple to make it darker. No, I'm gonna have to add blue. Let's add blue. See what happens when I add. See what happens when I add blue, because it is gonna have to be darker here, because this is like in shadow. So we're gonna have to go blue. I think for next time I'll have the picture that I'm referencing here for you guys. I realize that would have been good to have, so I will do that next time. Next time. Okay. And the movie is over. Oh, shoot. Well, you don't want to do that because you take the paint off. That looks like a tongue, though. That looks like a tongue. I need to outline the teeth. Just to give them a little more. But that looks like a freaking tongue. Nailed it. Nailed it. Let's see what this looks like. Know that you can shine, shine. Sorry, I'm singing the song of the credits. Oh gosh, my back does hurt. This did hurt my back a little bit. I think because I was slouched over. I just got to be a proper boy. Just gotta be. Sorry, I'm gonna dick around with the mic for a second. Just gotta be a proper boy. There we go. We gotta be a proper boy. Set up straight. It's gonna be really hard to get in the detail with the way things are set up, so I may do around the teeth, not on stream, just because I need to get my face close to it. Or I could always just wait and do it with pen, because I am gonna go over the. I'm gonna go over this with another medium, so it won't just be straight watercolor. But maybe I can wait. Yeah, I think I'll wait till then. Yeah, good plan, me. You always know what you're doing. Last thing I'm gonna do is fix the mouth here, and I'm gonna use the blue, kind of go over it. Oh. It's gonna need a little darkness where I took the paint off there. Because that's the point where it's supposed to be the darkest, like right at that of the tongue. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. I may add the blue around this because this is more there's more variance, so I may come back for that. But anywhoozles, I think that is gonna do it for me for tonight. Yeah, I've been going for an hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, that's my limit. My limit is an hour and 45 minutes on the weekdays. Like I said, I'm thinking about doing a stream on possibly Sundays, but I'm gonna have to rearrange my my work. I usually had my videos, my YouTube videos come out on Saturday for my main channel. I'm trying to get it to come out on Friday, so if I can shift that, then my weekends will be a little bit more open. So hopefully I can do that, and yeah, I should be releasing one of my videos Friday. Should be fun. And yeah, so I guess, you know what, let me pause this so I can freaking think, and then I will do talking with. Oh, you know what, I have a horrible idea. Hold on. We're gonna use something for my background. Oh god, it stinks. My hand's gonna stink from this. Here we go. Hold on, let me go underneath. There we go. This is horrible. Wait, can I get better mood lighting, please? There we go. There we go. Alright, everybody. Thanks for watching. All everyone who just popped in and watched or said something, thanks. I appreciate it. And if you're watching this on my VODs channel, Chonks Lives, and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Hitting that subscribe button not only makes you part of the Chonk family, but it gives you endless benefits. And yes, they exist, we just don't talk about them. Shh, don't talk about them. And if you like my content, which I assume you do because you're here watching a hand puppet do a thing, then you're definitely gonna like my content on my main channel, Chonky PuFFs. There is usually a link or subscribe button that'll pop up somewhere around here. And yeah, check it out, subscribe, all that good stuff. And thanks for my art stream. I will get better at it, we hope. And yeah, I will see you someplace else. I gotta go wash my hand because this puppet is sticky. Okay, bye. I just realized it eating my hand. Bye.